The Modern Women Tutorial. Strong Independent Don't Need No Man. Or How to Survive Without a Man. Because, you'd be hearing chicks be talking about, that they're strong independent. They don't need no man. And it's like, I want to believe it. But surviving is having the knowledge and capabilities to do things when you don't easily have things to do things with, right? So a lot of y'all ladies like to think, because you have a job and whatnot, you can survive. But that's just functioning in society. That's not surviving. Because if I put you on an island by yourself, you wouldn't do so well. Unless you learn to, which is the point of this video, is that y'all ladies need to learn how to survive without men, right? Be able to do things yourselves, right? Fix your own car, right? Fix your own plumbing, right? Take care of your own health instead of relying on a male doctor, right? Do things for yourself. The more you learn, this applies to guys too. It's just obviously I'm talking to the ladies right now. Learn to do things that will prevent you to need other people. Period. Right? Period. So learn those skills. That's why I always tell ladies to learn to cook for yourselves, not for a guy, for yourselves. But then it's beneficial if you do have a guy and you're good at cooking, especially if you have kids and stuff like that. You want to make sure you're cooking healthy meals, right? You're taking care of your family, right? Helping them survive. So that's why it's good to learn how to cook and clean, right? Be hygienic. Don't, be dirty, right? Because dirt promotes bacteria and germs and stuff like that makes you sick. Then you got to go to the hospital, right? I encourage the idea of self-care or self-health care, is what I meant to say, where you are your own doctor, right? You're your own doctor, right? You're your own personal trainer, right? You're your own, chef. You're your own maid, right? And the list goes on. You're self-sufficient. Everybody should learn to be self-sufficient. We have the knowledge out there. We have the technology. You have smartphones. Y'all can be learning everything y'all need to learn. But the thing I always see is the ladies are not putting that effort. They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. They talk about being able to do things the guys can do, but y'all don't learn how to do what we do. It's like y'all waiting until, bad shit happens, and then be like, okay, now we want to learn how to use things. What? Yeah, we want to learn how to run these power plants, how to run society, how to, clean water, grow food and stuff like. Why you want to wait until the last minute to want to learn things? I should be trying to learn things now. I support the idea of ladies wanting to, be doctors, scientists, and stuff like that. I support all that, right? Being detectives, right? Being CEOs, I'm all for that. But you gotta put in the same work guys do. Guys know in order to do those things and to be those things, you gotta learn it. You don't choose to be a doctor, you learn to be a doctor, right? You just have to want to do it. Wanting and choosing are not the same thing. You want to be a doctor? Then you have to learn to be one. Right? Too many people out here just like the aesthetic of it, of like, oh, I'm a CEO, or I'm a doctor, or I'm this, I'm that. And I see that with the ladies a lot. Y'all like to promote the idea of saying you're something that you're not. Saying you're strong when you can barely lift 20 pounds. Saying you're independent when you collect child support and food stamps and other things, or OnlyFans, or just have a whole bunch of guys cash apping you because you're attractive or some nonsense like that. It's like that doesn't sound independent. That sounds very dependent. Because if it wasn't for those things, you wouldn't be financially, capable of doing things. You have to do things the hard way. So I don't see independence in that. true independence, especially financial freedom, is supposed to be freedom from money, from not needing money. If you still need money, then you're not free. But that's for a different conversation. So, then we got to, look into being able to survive in cold weather, hot weather, wet weather, right? Rains and snow. Able to survive alone, right? With very limited resources. Being able to make things last long, right? Make food last, make money last. Some of you ladies are very wasteful with money, so that's why proof of that is during the pandemic, as soon as a lot of you ladies lost your ability to go to work, boom, immediately y'all were having financial problems. Immediately y'all were struggling. Which is the opposite of independent. If literally not having a job suddenly throws you down into struggle mode. Further proof that you're not preparing yourselves to survive, right there. And like I said, it was more of the ladies that were complaining about the pandemic than there was guys. Because most guys had a backup plan, or most guys were already prepared for the eventuality of something like that, of losing their job or whatnot, right? It's a whole plan for the worst, hope for the best. And the fact that the worst case scenario can always happen, an apocalypse can happen, where we have to survive on nature and stuff like that. More reason why you ladies need to start learning how to survive, right? Because God forbid, right, you do end up in a situation where you literally don't have men around, but you want to survive, right? In an apocalyptic situation. So you need to learn things, right? Like how to preserve food, how to cook it, of course. And might get to the point where you have to start growing food. You might have to start hunting. You might have to start breeding animals for the purpose of killing them and eating them. So there's a lot of stuff that you need to learn. Or at least learn how to survive with less. Like let's say you don't do the animal thing, right? You don't eat meat and you go straight vegetarian, right? You still gotta learn how to grow food, right? Fruits and vegetables, right? And some fruits and vegetables are seasonal. Then you gotta know nutrition, right? You gotta know what fruits and vegetables have the, what you need for your body to function, right? To keep you from, not getting sick, right? Because you're gonna need to use food as medicine, right? You have to understand how the human body works. And so much you have to learn. That's the thing. Most of you ladies are not doing that. The ones who are, you are. And I'm not talking about y'all ladies, obviously. Y'all learning. It's the ones who are not learning. It's the ones that are out there talking about the strong independent. Don't need no man, but as soon as something happens, boom, immediately they need a man. The same goes for self-defense, protecting yourself. Most of you ladies don't take self-defense. You think you would. It's 2023. Go take self-defense, ladies. Go watch some videos and learn how to fight, for Christ's sake. I'm tired of this, victim mentality of thinking that nothing bad should ever happen to you. It's like bad things are always gonna happen. Bad things are always gonna happen, so learn to defend yourself. Learn to, because I teach the ladies I deal with to be able to defend themselves. And I use me specifically as an example. I'm over 300 pounds. I teach them how to defend themselves and beat a guy who's over 300 pounds. So I literally teach them how to beat me if I ever became a threat, which I wouldn't be, but let's say hypothetically, right? I'm under some type of mind control and I become a threat, they at least can defend themselves. They have a higher chance of surviving, right? If I was ever to attack them. More reason why your ladies need to learn how to defend yourselves, right? At least, learn some boxing. Definitely go to the gym for strength purposes, not for any other reason, but strength purposes, right? Get strong, but do what you want in the gym. I'm just saying, at least lift for strength purposes. so you can actually be a strong, independent woman, right? So actually lift to be strong. I give that same advice to guys. Lift to be strong, not necessarily to get in shape, but to at least be strong. You know, I don't care how you guys, you know, how your body is, right? That's on you. And to each their own, right? Beauty is an eye of the beholder. So if you're a big girl, that's fine, but be strong. If you're a skinny chick, that's fine, but be strong, right? Just be strong. That's all I'm saying. Then, so strength, right? Health, right? Taking care of your health, eating better, being educated on what you're putting into your mouth, pun intended. You know, be wiser on that type of stuff. Make better decisions in life. That's the thing. Part of being independent is knowing how to make better decisions. Because since you're dependent on yourself, or independent, right? Independent, you gotta make the best decisions. Because ain't nobody else making decisions for you, right? That's the whole idea. No one else can tell you what to do. You tell yourself what to do. Which means you need to know how to tell yourself the right things. You know, the right things to eat, right? The right things to drink, the right exercises, right? The right, you know, of anything, right? Just making better decisions. So what else? I mentioned medical, you know, get some medical knowledge, learn some basic first aid kits, right? Learn how to stop a bleeding, you know, learn how to make a splinter in case you break bones. Learn how to, what is it? Learn how to, you know, animals. So, gotta learn how to protect yourself against animals, you know, animal attacks, bites, insect stings, right? Bites. So learn how to take care of those types of things, especially if you're allergic. Then, like I said, learn farming earlier. Want to learn that. You want to learn how to build things, right? Like shelter, structure, fortification, you know, defense, like being able to, you know, barricade doors and stuff like that, because that might be necessary, right? Learn how to make weapons or improvise weapons, as they say, right? Because you might not have the physical strength to defend against yourself against a, you know, a large number of people. Then a weapon helps you equalize that, right? Helps you, gives you an advantage when you're going up against multiple opponents. So you might want to learn how to use different types of weapons. You know, blunt objects like bats, knives, you know, things of that nature. You know, learn how to carve things out of wood, right? Learn how to make things out of wood, right? Learn a little bit of carpentry. Try to take at least a month, and every day of that month, try to learn a new skill. You know, something you could, you know, not that you could, but you would use in a survival situation, right? You know, like starting a fire and, you know, doing things with a knife for defense as well as for just survival. Like, you know, learn how to use a survivalist knife that has multiple different things on it. Get a utility knife, right? Buy some items, you know, for survival purpose. Create a survival bag, backpack that has a whole bunch of survival gears, right? Compass and stuff. Oh yeah, learn navigation. It's very important to learn how to travel around, you know, and find things in society. You know, learn how to make like a boat or something, like a raft or something like that nature, because you may need that. How to make things waterproof, how to stay warm. Like I said, you know, how to deal with different climates. So dealing with extreme cold, how to deal with that, how to deal with extreme heat, how to prevent heat strokes, that kind of stuff. And learn about, learn some chemistry. It's always good to learn that. Learn some chemistry, learn some biology. That way you could be better knowledgeable when it comes to the human body. So that you can take care of yourself, especially, like I said, you're independent, right? So that means you gotta also take care of your own health. Like I said, learn as much as you can. Learn how to exercise, right? How to build stamina, how to build strength, even without weights, or at least learn how to make improvised weights. There's a lot you have to learn. I spent years learning a lot of different things, which is why I'm just like running through like a whole bunch of list of things that will be useful for surviving. Because as a guy, that's one of the first things we do is try to learn how to survive and learn how to be really, really good at what we do. Damn, she's hot. And because we got to be great at a lot of things, fixing things, doing things, doing certain people. So it's very important to have that mindset of like, okay, I gotta learn this because you never know. I gotta learn that because you never know. And the list goes on, right? This is part of being a man, right? If ladies want to be independent, aka equal to a guy, right, then you need to do what we do and try to do what we do by learning what we do. The knowledge and information out there. We made it easy for information and then for this knowledge to be out there for you ladies and guys to have access to this wealth of knowledge. You literally have a smartphone. Use it to get smart. Improve yourself. That way you can improve your life. Improving your life means you'll live longer, right? Because you're taking better care of yourself, right? Self-care, and then self-health care, which is the most current thing that I'm promoting. Self-health care. Instead of relying on other people to take care of your health, you take care of your health. Instead of relying on doctors to take care of you, you take care of you, right? Just like instead of expecting a mechanic or a guy to fix your car, you fix your car, and the list goes on, right? You got to learn to fix your own problems. That's the point of being independent, is fixing your own problems. Guys are inherently problem solvers. Sorry to say, ladies, but inherently y'all not problem solvers. Inherently y'all problem makers. I said it, right? But it's true. Y'all ladies know it's true. Y'all love drama because y'all usually create it. Whenever you're bored, you'll literally start an argument. An argument. Not a discussion, not a debate, right? Not an intellectual conversation. No. An argument. Fighting for the sake of fighting. Because of emotions, not logic. So,
I'll be all right.
Yeah. So, what else? There's a lot of stuff. Like the point I'm trying to get to is go look it up. I'm not going to tell you everything you need to learn in this video. All I'm telling you is the information is out there. Go get it. Have the mindset of like, all right, let me learn how to survive, how to, be strong, independent, and don't need no man. But I will always still promote the idea of still should get one. Even if you don't need him, it's better to have him and not need him than to need him and not have him. That's just with anything. It's better to have an exercise bike and not need it than to need it and not have it, right? It's just better to have something. That's the thing. It's like it's better to have something than nothing, because you never know when that something is needed.